Hey guys, it's Carolyn. This is my second attempt at filming this video. I know I said that my book buying ban video got messed up as well. This phone just hates my videos for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm accidentally making them too long, so I'm actually going to make this shorter than my first attempt at it. Basically, I wanted to give you guys a update because I know that I said I was going to do a February wrap-up, but there are 3 books that I read in January that I purposefully didn't do a January, well, not really on purpose. Originally I forgot to do a January wrap-up when I was first filming these videos because I was kind of thinking of February as like a fresh start with that, but also I was a little bit ashamed because I only read 3 books in January because I was just getting out of my book slump, because when I graduated college back in May, I originally was like, yes, I get to read for fun. I have so many books on this reading for fun list that I haven't gotten to read because I've been so busy with school stuff. But then as soon as I graduated, I did not want to read for fun because I just absolutely, I didn't want to look at another book, because I don't know, it was like, because I had read for school so much, not even reading for fun, I didn't even want to read those, so I read maybe 5 or 6 books from May until January, and then I read, the 3 books that I read in January are the most that I'd read within a month since May. So yeah, I was a little bit ashamed. But also, so originally then I was just going to add those books to my February wrap-up, but then I realized how many books I told you guys that I was going to read in February, and I was like, that is way too long of a video. That would be like 30 minutes. Nobody would watch that. So instead I'm splitting them in half, and I'm gonna show you guys the books that I read in January, and then I'm gonna show you guys the books that I've read so far in February. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, the first one that I completed that I finished in January was, I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zusak. 5 out of 5 stars, you guys. This book, I read it because, or I picked it up because my friend had read it, and she said it was one of her favorite books, and she actually read this before she read The Book Thief, which I was kind of surprised about, but she actually said that that's why she needed to read The Book Thief, is because she thought this was so good, and mine was the exact opposite. I read The Book Thief, and I loved it so much that when she said that this one was amazing, I was like, it's by the same author, and I loved The Book Thief, I have to pick this up. So, I got this probably the end of December, I think, maybe middle of December, and I read it, I started reading it in January. I started reading it on my trip to New York on the plane, and it got to the point where I was so enthralled with this that I didn't want to do other things, which was kind of bad, because I was with my best friend, and, you know, I wanted to hang out and do stuff in New York with him at the same time, but I was kind of thinking about this book, while that was going on. Like thinking about wanting to read it. And then I read more of it on the flight home, and then something weird happened. About 75 pages from the end, like as soon as I got home, I put it down and didn't pick it up for a week. And I think that was because subconsciously I didn't want it to end. I don't know if it's that I didn't want to find out what the ending was because I just couldn't figure out how it was going to end, or if it was just because it was so good that I just didn't want it to end. I think that was it. I think that I was trying to prolong it. But it was so good. The ending I did not see coming, mostly because I couldn't conceive that it was a possibility, basically. But it was a very, very good ending nonetheless. It was really good. This whole book is awesome. I'll read you guys the back real quick. Ed Kennedy is an underage cab driver without much of a future. He's pathetic at playing cards, hopelessly in love with his best friend Audrey, and utterly devoted to his coffee-drinking dog, the doorman. His life is one of peaceful routine and incompetence until he inadvertently stops a bank robbery. That's when the first ace arrives in the mail. That's when Ed becomes the messenger. Chosen to care, he makes his way through town, helping and hurting, when necessary, until only one question remains. Who's behind Ed's mission? Really mysterious, really awesome. I fell very deeply in love with all of the characters. All the characters in this are just really great. And there are a couple twists and surprises in this book that just kind of tug at your heartstrings and that just make it so much deeper emotionally, which I really, really enjoyed. Markus Zusak is an amazing writer. Okay, next we have The Carnivorous Carnival by Lemony Snicket. It is number 9 in a series of unfortunate events, I had to give this 4 out of 5. I love this book series so much. It's just so fun and crazy, and you get kind of sucked in. But the reason why I couldn't give it that fifth star is because at this point, I hate to say, I am reading to get to the last book to find out what the fate of the Baudelaire children is. Because, and again, I shake for emphasis, but I just talk with my hands, so book in my hand, yeah, it's gonna happen. But anyway, the plot is still really good, but I've found out, I basically just think that at this point it's different locations and different characters, but kind of the same situation, the same plot devices, basically, which is fine, you know, I mean, it's great because the writing is still really good, but it just kind of means that at this point I really am reading just to find out what their fate is in book 13 or what it's going to be. So, yeah, but I love Lemony Snicket. I'm reading something right now that he has a little snippet of something in because it's an anthology and his writing is awesome, and it really makes me want to read stuff by Daniel Handler, who is Lemony Snicket. That's his real name, and he writes, I think he writes regular teen fiction under his real name. This is more like youth stuff, but yeah, I really want to read Why We Broke Up by him. But yeah, really good. But yeah, 4 out of 5 because it was like awesome, but still kind of basically the same. So yeah, alright. And the last one in January was Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. 5 out of 5 stars, guys. This cover, I love this cover. That's not why I gave it 4 out of 5. I mean, that's not why I gave it 5 out of 5. But, you know, I love this cover, so that's why I bought it. Also, it was half price on Amazon for a day, which is why it has the little discount mark. But whatever. It's okay. Because this cover's so pretty. And, again, I love this book so much that I wanted my own copy, even after I read it in the library. But yeah, boarding school, London, Victorian England, Jack the Ripper, ghosts, amazing, amazing. And the whole time, it was one of those books where it was like, you just think, yes, I went to school with that girl, yes, she is a bully. Or you think, oh wow, I really want this girl to be my best friend, that's awesome. It was amazing, and I'm so excited for the second book. And really quickly, you guys, if you have read Name of the Star and you are looking forward to getting The Madness Underneath, which comes out on the 26th of February, I think, Maureen Johnson put out an article with 26 independent bookstores on it, and she said if you order, did I say 26? I meant like 20. But basically, if you order from one of these bookstores, your copy will be signed, and you will get a set of, I think, 8 or 10 stickers that Maureen Johnson had someone design and they are all to do with her books and her personality, and that's just so fun. And yeah, it's going to be a little pricier than if you get it on Amazon, but you get a signed copy. If you haven't ordered it yet and you are thinking strongly about ordering the second one because you liked this one so much, which it's amazing, then you should do that, because great idea, and you get stuff with it. Okay, next, for my first ones for February, I reread Immortal Highlander. I really like this book, 5 out of 5 stars, especially if you're a romance fan. This is a really cool series because it's got time travel, it's got magic, it's set in Scotland. I know, I'm a Scotland freak, I love it, I would live there if I could. But yeah, it's romance, time travel, magic, druids, Scotland, and it's just really, really good. But this is part of a series, so I would recommend, and I think this is somewhere in the middle, so I would recommend looking up the order. This is just called the Highlander series by Karen Marie Moning. Because you could pick up one and read it, like, kind of anywhere in the series, but they do mention other characters from other books, and chronologically it's better, because it does go in chronological order. And also, if you're reading this and it talks about another character, where that character story has come before this one, then it'll make a lot more sense to read that one first, because you'll know that character's backstory. But, you know, it's just kind of a web where all of the characters from the different books are connected. So yeah, this is really good. 5 out of 5, and I recommend it for romance lovers. Okay, next is Vision in White by Nora Roberts. This is the first in the Bride Quartet series. This was really good. I love Nora Roberts' writing. If you are a Nora Roberts fan, then this series is a great idea. Basically, this series is about 4 friends who've been best friends since childhood, 4 women, and when they got older, they've always been obsessed with weddings, like their whole lives. So when they got older, they opened their own wedding company, and one of them is the photographer, one of them's the caterer, one of them is the kind of overall planner, and one of them is, the flower person. So, yeah, each one of these focuses on one of the girls and her love story. And I'll read you the inside flap of this one about the first girl. After years of throwing make-believe weddings in the backyard, flowers, photography, desserts, and details are what these women do best. A guaranteed perfect, beautiful day full of memories to last the rest of your life. With bridal magazine covers to her credit, Mackenzie Mac Elliott is most at home behind the camera, ready to capture the happy moments she never experienced while growing up. Her father replaced his first family with a second, and now her mother, moving on to yet another man, begs Mac for attention and money. Mac's foundation is jostled again moments before an important wedding planning meeting when she bumps into the bride-to-be's brother, an encounter that has them both seeing stars. Carter McGuire is definitely not her type. He's stable and he's safe. He's even an English teacher at their high school alma mater. There's something about him that makes Mac think a casual fling is just what she needs to take her mind off dealing with bridezillas and screening her mother's phone calls. But a casual fling can turn into something more when you least expect it, and with the help of her 3 best friends and business partners, Mac must learn how to make her own happy memories. This book was so good that I actually ordered the second and the third one, because both of those were available on Thrift Books. This was before the book buying ban happened. But yeah, the second one, they sent me a different book called Babylon Rising instead of Bed of Roses, which I think I explained in my book haul, and I'm going to fix that as soon as possible. But Savor the Moment, which is the third one, was in my recent book haul, and if I really enjoy those as well, then I'll probably put the last one, which I think is called Happily Ever After, on my Christmas list or something to finish up the series. but this is a really good little saga, especially for not only romance lovers, but if you enjoy Nora Roberts' writing, which I really do. I have a couple of other of her series. This is a really good pick. So I would say 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, probably 4 out of 5 stars, because, I mean, it wasn't the best one that I've read, but it was still really cute. Okay, now, on to, what else? Oh, this is the last one. Oh, yeah, Every Day by David Levithan. I think I told you guys before, I got this as a birthday present from my best friend, who absolutely loved this book, and I adored it. I think I probably liked it just as much as he did. Might have even liked it a little bit more. I don't know if that's possible. But I'm not going to read you guys the back because this has been all over BookTube. So I'm sure most of you have heard about this book. But it is absolutely, it was brilliant. The characters are amazing. The main character is awesome. And the ending, I'm not going to give anything away, but when I read this ending, it's one of those endings where you read it and you realize that it couldn't possibly have ended in a better way, or just you kind of read it and you're like, that was a perfect ending to this story. Just so good. 5 out of 5 stars, and it just makes me want to read a lot of other things David Levithan has written. I really want to read Lover's Dictionary by him, and Love is a Higher Law, because one booktuber that I watch, unfortunately I don't remember who it is, but she said that Love is a Higher Law was her favorite David Levithan book, so I really want to read that as well. So both of those are on my to-be-read list, even though, not for this year, but on my to-be-read list for eventual. So yeah, 1 or 2 of those might go on my Christmas list as well. Which I know Christmas is a long way off, but like I said, this is the only way that I will be getting books, so if I think of a book that I think I might like, I'll just add it to that list. But yeah, so those are the 6 books that I've read in the last month and a half, and I will be doing, there's about 6 more books that I'm going to read this month. 2 of them I'm already halfway through, so yeah, that kind of helps a lot, based on the fact that there's only 10 days left in the month. So I'm going to make a video for you guys. I'll make like a wrap-up video for the books that I read from now until the end of the month, on the 1st or 2nd of March. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and comment. Okay, thanks guys, bye!